have one of your favorite stars with him today.
Stay tuned.
That's right, man. We are live on the radio, Reec Radio, that is. Of course, we are also live on CMVA 107.5 in Charlotte, which is a neighboring state to Georgia. And this man right here is making some waves, of course, in our state. He's been making them for a while now. He's been an advocate of those everything farm. Let's put it that way. He's everything farm. He's been an advocate for. So this guy's near and dear to our hearts. We want to talk about several different things that he is standing on. Of course, we have the Honorable Fred Swann is in the building. Go ahead and hit the hype button for you one time. I think we're going to be doing that a lot during this interview.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. No, thank you so much for having me. Wow, what an intro, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have a thing called biggest intro ever, and that, you know, that's a small sliver of what it is, but you are what we call a perfect candidate. And for what you're running for. Sometimes people jump out there because they see the glitz and glory of a government position. Sometimes they see change that they may want to see happen, but they haven't lived it. But you, sir, have done all of those things, and you basically have lived what you're talking about. You know the politics, and you also know it firsthand. So when you're talking about running for agricultural commissioner for Georgia, this is one of the people that we definitely want to hear what you have to say. Now, I have to stay neutral because I'm media, right? But I can say I voted for you in 2018. So that wouldn't be a lot. So let me go ahead and then do that and take a round of applause for that, for being an active voter. All right.
That's right. Thank you, active voters. Seriously, right. Because that is one of the things that in Georgia, we've been moving the needle for several years. Yes. And that's why we were able to flip the state in 20 and give Georgia to Biden. We now have 2 Democratic U.S. senators, Ossoff and Warnock. And now, speaking of agriculture, it's such a blessing to have Reverend Warnock as our U.S. senator, because he's done so much already for agriculture, especially for Black farmers. So honestly, we're already seeing dividends from that.
Right. Let's talk about that too. There's been a disparity for Black farmers for quite some time in the South, Georgia specifically. But that's weird because Georgia's like #1 in a bunch of different statistical categories when it comes to agriculture. You talk about cotton, watermelon, pecan, broiler chickens, eggs, which I know personally because I raise chickens in my backyard.
Okay, yeah.
But don't tell my HOA. I hope they're not watching the show. Actually, I hope they are, but I hope they aren't. But yeah, so we're ahead in so many categories, but there was a disparity between Black farmers and farmers in particular, man. Can you talk about that a little bit before we get into the meat of the interview and some of the things you stand on?
Oh, absolutely. Black farmers have been marginalized for decades. I mean, we're talking about issues such as redlining of districts and even redlining of zoning to push Black farmers out. The USDA has had bad loan practices which have disenfranchised and disadvantaged Black farmers for many decades. There was actually just a suit that got resolved from that, and that came on both Democratic and Republican administrations. And you know, but they've even been marginalized in the private sector. There was actually a suit that was going on from, I think, Tennessee that went to the Supreme Court over Black farmers who were sold bad seeds. Literally, the seed company sold good seeds to white farmers and bad seeds to Black farmers. And then, like, when they're like, hey, our crops aren't growing, oh, maybe it's because you're not as good a farmer as you think you are.
How does that happen?
And these are things that are documented that we know about. And so, yeah, honestly, there are many disenfranchised communities that really need to be at the forefront of policies to create more farms, more small farms, and more farming communities in a state where agriculture is our #1 industry.